Hey, what's up, online community? And thanks for stopping by and checking out another segment of Straight No Chaser, where I talk sports and culture for fans, oftentimes with the fans. Now, I've been on a little bit of a hiatus for the past couple of weeks, which has allowed me to kind of regain my energy, but also, more importantly, catch up on some topics that are happening in the world of sports as well as in the world around us in general. Now, today I decided to go it alone. I had some people that wanted to join me, but I wanted to use this opportunity to really give my direct thoughts in terms of some of the things that's going on both in our country and also in the world of sports. But before we get into it, you know how we do. Grab your favorite libation. We're about to get into it. Straight No Chaser. So let's see. I had a question or had a comment. I'm going to pull it up from Ken Brown. Let's see. Oh, Ken Brown, what are my thoughts on Deion Sanders as the head coach of Jackson State? One thing, and this is great. It's a great segue because this is a segue to my last point, and that was the last question that someone has sent to me. Is there a stigma around hiring black coaches? So great segue, Ken Brown. I think it ties into a little bit into your question. First off, let me answer the question: is there a stigma around hiring black coaches? I I I feel that black coaches, as it relates to many other segments of society, have to work twice, three times, four times as hard as their counterparts to get a legitimate shot at a head coaching position. For whatever reason, there is when you're looking at sports, in particular football, basketball, in which they're predominantly black athletes. Um, there aren't that many African American head coaches. Do I think there are barriers? Absolutely. Do I think that the black coaches, African American coaches, have to work harder than their counterparts? 100%. I've seen where, and I call them retreads, where coaches that were unsuccessful at one school or one program get another contract and another contract and another contract at different schools or an extension. And I don't think I think part of it is who you know, but I think part of it too is sometimes it feels like it seems as if there could be a non-intentional bias when it comes to hiring coaches of color. I would love to see more coaches of color. Again, we talked about the Bulls coaching position. I personally feel that Billy Donovan was a great hire given the team that we have, given his track record and how players have spoken up for him. As it relates to just their experiences with him. But there were other coaches that were on my short list as well. But I do think he was equally as qualified. But with that being said, I think that all coaching positions aren't for everybody. Just because there's a vacant coaching position doesn't mean it should be filled by a person of color. Or sometimes coaching positions, sometimes it's about fit. Unfortunately, my feeling is that African American coaches don't always get the benefit of the doubt when it relates to some of the coaching positions that are available. And if it's not the perfect fit, then it feels as if, and it looks as if they're being excluded from the process. What I've often seen, and it's very rare, but what I've often seen is that African American coaches kind of get the bottom of the barrel positions. So struggling programs, you look at a guy like Lovie Smith, who went to University of Illinois. No disrespect to University of Illinois, but the University of Illinois was kind of in a rebuilding phase in the Big Ten as it relates to football. You look at David Fisdale. He's had 2 jobs in the NBA after being an assistant in Miami. And by all accounts, he's a great coach, but he had a situation in Memphis with the Grizzlies as well as with the New York Knicks, 2 organizations that have had some challenges in the past in terms of public perception, people challenging their credibility in terms of looking at if winning is a priority. And, you know, he had two, I call it a raw deal. You know, he had to take two struggling franchises, two struggling teams, and try and make, you know, try and make dessert out of, you know, make a sweet dessert out of core apple seeds and watermelon rinds. You know, you want him to make an apple pie that's scrumptious and delicious. So you see these African-American coaches kind of get these bottom of the barrel rebuilding jobs that really nobody, I shouldn't say nobody wants, but they're almost in essence set up to fail, because if it works out, then it's, hey, you know what, great job, you know, great job building this program, great job building this team. We knew we had confidence in you. But if it doesn't work out, then you hear the, well, you know, we gave this guy a chance. You know, we can't say that we've never hired an African-American coach. Now back to our regularly scheduled program. So I do think that there are challenges as it relates to African-Americans getting head coaching positions in major sports, major team sports, whether it be on a professional level or at the college level. I do think that there are some challenges. Hopefully we'll start to move beyond skin color, and we won't hear things like the first African-American coach at XYZ school, or first African-American coach or manager of this professional sports team, or first African-American executive of this organization. I hope we move beyond that and we're just having a conversation, you know, that this is the executive of this organization or the head coach of this team.